Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. First off, let me apologize. Today's video is going to be a little shorter than normal. I have been recovering from getting sick, so I need to take some time to continue my recovery. But that actually brings us to today's topic. I wanted to share some of my thoughts and feelings on how to effectively manage your days while you're sick, some ideas in terms of how to prioritize your tasks and manage your recovery. As always, my name is Tyler Warlow. I go by the Mengineer, and I'm here to help you engineer your life. Let's hop into the video. So for the first thing that I want to talk about is you need to prioritize your recovery. That is number one. I understand that sometimes sickness strikes in some really inconvenient times, but the number one thing that you have to keep in mind is you're not going to be able to operate at your best. You are sick. You need to recognize that and have realistic expectations. When I say prioritize your recovery, that means you need to be honest. If you can't go into work or you're not going to be super effective at work, you need to talk with your team, manage those expectations, even see if you could potentially have sick days. If you don't have sick days you can use, see if working remotely is a possibility. And then when it comes to your task, have a few priority things that if they absolutely have to get done, that's what you'll focus on. But do not expect to get the same level of work that you normally do. And kind of playing off of that, this goes for things outside of work as well. This includes the gym, going out, talking with friends. Speaking from personal experience, when I first started kind of feeling a little bit under the weather, I was like, oh, I can still go out and exercise, and I was still pushing myself to the same level that I was before. But then the next day and even the night of, I would feel so much worse because I expended all that energy during my exercise. If you truly feel like you're just a little bit under the weather with like a cold or something like that, still go ahead and exercise if you feel up to it. But again, don't push yourself to that same extreme that you normally would. Maybe take it a little lighter, just get your system warm and running, and then let yourself recover. Try to get to bed on time, get the sleep that you need. Your recovery is number one. The more that you exert yourself, the more that you push yourself, the longer it's going to take for you to recover, and hence the longer it's going to take you to get back up to 100%. So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is what to do if you do still need to go into work or if you need to go do things. You need to be respectful of other people. Other people do not want to get sick as well, so you need to be taking steps to be clean and sanitary while you're doing that. That means carrying hand sanitizer. If you're coughing and sneezing a lot, please just wear a mask, or if you don't feel like wearing a mask, make sure that you're coughing into your elbow, something along the lines of that. But you really don't want to be the person who is spreading that to everyone else, especially if that's at your work. Everyone's going to know it was you. You're going to be patient zero, to speak. So let's try to manage that. If you have to go into work, if you have to go out, because I know daily things like getting groceries and stuff are kind of unavoidable unless you have someone that you can do that with. So make sure that you're managing that, keeping yourself clean, keeping your environment clean, and trying to avoid getting other people sick because no one else wants to share that with you. Circling back around, kind of touching on the recovery aspect again, is make sure that you're getting plenty of water and make sure you're eating the right foods. You want to give your body the right nutrition and hydration to make sure that you're recovering well. I know that when you're feeling like garbage, sometimes it can be real tempting to just eat the foods that make you feel better, but unless those foods are really quality for you, they can actually sometimes make you feel worse. And making sure you stay hydrated is really important in terms of mitigating how you're feeling, because a lot of the times when you're sick, fevers and stuff can cause your temperature to go up, and hydration can kind of help mitigate that, versus if you weren't hydrated, you would be feeling even worse than you could be feeling. So make sure that you're continuing to keep up with your hydration, make sure that you're eating enough, because those additional things like dehydration or being on an empty stomach and feeling nauseous can just make something that might otherwise be manageable feel even worse. Now, I recognize that getting sick is unavoidable, and sometimes that comes at moments that you really can't control. So I think when it comes to your sickness, it's all about managing it and working to mitigate the risks to others as well as yourself. So just keep those things in mind when you do get sick and when you're trying to work towards recovery. Friends, family, your work will understand, especially if you come into work sick and you make others sick. That's going to be an issue. One thing to keep in mind, this is all just my personal opinions. I am not a doctor, of course, so if you're sick and symptoms and stuff persist, of course, make sure that you consult a doctor and see them and try to seek out professional help. I am not a doctor. I want to stress that. These are just my personal opinions. So these are just some of my thoughts. Again, I apologize for the video being short today. As always, if you want to see my latest video, that will be posted right here. And this is the Mengineer signing off.